Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to hear me today because God has a word for someone in this room. How many of you are tired of having to explain yourself to people who will never understand your vision? How many of you are exhausted from defending your dreams? Your choice is your journey, your calling. Listen to me. The world does not need your explanations. It does not need your justifications. The world needs your focus. The world does not care how hard you've worked. The world will only see the results. And the truth is, the more you explain, more you waste the precious time that should be spent building, creating, and achieving. You see, life has a way of rewarding those who are patient, those who stay committed, and those who keep their eyes on the prize. When you stop explaining, you free up energy that can now be invested in growth, in your skills, in your dreams. Every time you try to defend your path to skeptics, you are giving away your power. Stop. Redirect that energy to your purpose. Some of you are waiting for approval. Some of you are waiting for permission. Some of you are waiting for people to see what you see. But here's the secret. God never asked you to wait for them. God asked you to focus, to rise, to move forward regardless of whether the world understands. Focusing does not mean you ignore advice or reject wisdom. No! Focus, it means you commit. You commit to your vision. You commit to your craft. You commit to your calling. You commit to the process, trusting that in God's timing, everything you've been working for will come naturally. Stop explaining. Stop justifying. Stop trying to make everyone understand. Instead, invest in your growth. Hone your craft. Refine your mind. Strengthen your character. Work in silence. Because when you focus, what you are building will speak louder than any words ever could. Your breakthrough is not in the explanations. Your breakthrough is in the focus. Your manifestation is not in the arguments. Your manifestation is in the discipline, the perseverance, the consistency, the faithfulness. Stay the course. Keep your eyes on your purpose and watch how the universe, how God moves on your behalf. Everything you've prayed for, everything you've envisioned, everything you've labored over, it will come naturally. But only if you stop talking about it so much and start working toward it so relentlessly. Remember, your destiny is not dependent on anyone's understanding. It is dependent on your focus. Some of you have been living your lives chained to the opinions of others. You wake up every morning wondering what people will think of your choices, your goals, your dreams. You hesitate to take steps forward because you are waiting for someone to validate you, for someone to nod their approval, for someone to say, yes, you can. But I am here to tell you today, you were never created to live for the approval of others. When you are constantly seeking approval, you give away your power. Every yes you need from the world is a no to your own destiny. Every time you try to justify your choices to someone who doesn't understand your purpose, you are taking time away from your calling. And let me tell you something, the people whose approval you are chasing may never understand you. The people whose validation you crave may never come around. And if you build your life around their acceptance, you will always be running, always second-guessing yourself, always living in fear. Stop it. Stop living for the approval of friends, family, coworkers, or society. Stop measuring your worth by likes, comments, or applause. Stop trying to fit into someone else's vision of your life. There is a power, a freedom, spiritual authority that comes when you stop caring what others think. And that power is what moves mountains, what breaks chains, what fulfills destiny. God never asked you to ask permission to walk in your calling. He never told you to wait for someone else to affirm what he has already put in your heart. You are already equipped. You already have the talent, the strength, the vision. The world may not recognize it. They may not understand it. And that is okay. What matters is that you see it. What matters is that you believe it. What matters is that you act on it, even when the world doubts you. Seeking approval keeps you small. Seeking approval keeps you stuck. It forces you to make decisions based on fear instead of faith. You end up doing things because someone else will like it, instead of doing things because God has called you to it. You end up shrinking your dreams so they are palatable to others instead of letting them grow to their full potential. And the sad truth is, Even when you get that approval, it is temporary. It is fleeting. It is not what will sustain your life or your purpose. Stop explaining yourself. Stop trying to convince people of your worth. Stop begging for validation. Every time you do, you give away your peace, your focus, and your energy. Energy is your most valuable resource. Every moment you spend seeking approval is a moment stolen from building your dream, fulfilling your purpose, becoming the person God created you to be. Focus on your journey. Focus on your growth. Focus on your calling. When you stop seeking approval, you open the door to a life that is authentic, powerful, and unstoppable. You stop living someone else's story and start living your own. You stop being a spectator in your life and start being the author. You stop waiting for a green light and start creating your own path. Let me tell you, some of the greatest people who ever walked this earth never had everyone's approval. Moses faced doubt from his own people. David was rejected and overlooked before he became king. Esther risked everything without the guarantee of approval from her society. And yet their focus, their courage, their faith brought them to destiny. Approval was not the compass for their lives. Purpose was. And the same is true for you. When you stop seeking approval, you develop courage, you develop resilience, you develop a boldness that cannot be shaken by criticism, gossip, or misunderstanding. You begin to make decisions not based on fear of rejection, but based on faith in what God has placed inside of you. You begin to take risks, to pursue dreams, to speak truth, to step into your calling, even when the world says, no, it is not easy. Be honest with you. It is not easy to ignore the voices of people around you. Some of them will criticize you, ridicule you, even try to shame you into obedience to their expectations. Some of them may be people you love, people you respect, people whose opinions you once held dear. But here is the truth: when you stop seeking approval, you are not rejecting people. You are rejecting the chains that have kept you small. You are rejecting the fear that has kept you from your purpose. You are rejecting a life of compromise. Approval seeking is rooted in insecurity. It is a symptom of not fully trusting yourself, not fully trusting your vision, and not fully trusting God. When you shift your focus from approval to alignment, alignment with your purpose, alignment with your calling, alignment with God's plan, you will begin to experience a freedom that the world cannot give and cannot take away. There will be times when you feel alone. There will be times when you feel misunderstood. There will be times when it seems like no one believes in you. But let me remind you, the approval of one God, one Spirit, one Creator is enough to move mountains. If you have His guidance, His wisdom, His favor, then you do not need the applause of men. You do not need the understanding of the world. You do not need validation from those who do not share your vision. Stop seeking approval. Stop waiting for someone to tell you that you are enough, that you are worthy, that you are capable. Stop chasing the applause, the recognition, the nods of agreement, and start focusing on your growth, your craft, your faith, your purpose. Start trusting the process, even when it is hard. Start walking boldly in the calling that God has placed in your life. When you stop seeking approval and start seeking purpose, everything will fall into place. Doors will open, opportunities will appear. Your vision will align with reality. Your destiny will not be delayed by the opinions of others. Your life will not be limited by their understanding. Your breakthrough is waiting, not because others approve, but because you stayed faithful to the call. You were not created to live small, to conform, to explain, to justify, or to beg for acceptance. You were created to shine, to rise, to lead, to innovate, to inspire. Approval is not your goal. Fulfillment is. Purpose is. Destiny is. And once you stop seeking approval, you will see just how limitless your life can truly be. So today, make the decision. Refuse to let the world control your confidence. Refuse to let opinions dictate your actions. Refuse to give your power away. Stop seeking approval. Start living for your purpose. Focus on what matters. Walk boldly. Work diligently. And watch as the life you were meant to live unfolds naturally, powerfully, and gloriously before your eyes. Many of us spend our lives scattering our energy in the wrong places. We pour our time, attention, and emotional strength into things that do not build us, do not move us forward, and do not prepare us for our destiny. We get caught up in drama, comparison, distraction, and the opinions of others. And before we know it, years have passed and nothing has changed. I am here to tell you today that your energy is your most precious resource, and how you spend it determines the trajectory of your life. It is time to focus your energy on growth. Growth is not accidental. Growth does not happen when you drift through life waiting for opportunities to appear. Growth happens when you intentionally invest in yourself, your mind, your skills, your spirit, and your character. Every decision you make about where to put your time, who to spend it with, what to think about has a direct impact on whether you grow or stagnate. If you want to experience progress, you must become deliberate in the use of your energy. You must refuse to waste your power on things that do not build you up. Many people misunderstand growth. They think growth is measured by material success, titles, or recognition. No, growth is measured by who you become in the process. Growth is seen in your resilience when challenges come. Growth is seen in your discipline when distractions try to pull you away. Growth is seen in your wisdom when others are quick to speak without understanding. Growth is seen in your character when you stay faithful to the journey, even when no one is watching. When you focus your energy on growth, you prioritize learning over complaining, solutions over problems, progress over approval. You stop wasting hours scrolling through meaningless content, worrying about what others think, or trying to control things beyond your control. Instead, you invest in the things that make you stronger, sharper, more capable. You read, you study, you practice, you reflect, you pray. You become a student of life, always learning, always improving, always evolving. There is a spiritual principle here: energy follows intention. What you give your focus to expands. If you give your energy to negativity, criticism, or doubt, those things will grow in your life. If you give your energy to growth, improvement, and purpose, those things will multiply. It is a choice, and it is a choice that will define whether you live a life of stagnation or a life of progress. Many of us are trapped in cycles of distraction because it is easier to focus on what feels urgent than on what is important. We respond to notifications, gossip, crisis instead of creating, building, and growing. But let me tell you something: the world will always demand your attention. You get to decide where your energy goes. You get to decide what deserves your focus. You get to decide whether you are going to invest in temporary noise or eternal growth. Growth requires intentionality. Growth requires sacrifice. Growth requires discipline. There will be things in your life that demand your energy but do not deserve it. There will be people who drain your spirit and pull you away from your purpose. There will be situations that tempt you to react in ways that waste your power. Learn to identify these energy drains and cut them off. Protect your focus. Guard your time. Defend your peace. Because when your energy is focused, growth is inevitable. And remember, growth is not always comfortable. It often comes through challenges, struggles, and trials. You will be tested. You will be pushed. You will be forced out of your comfort zone. But every challenge is an opportunity to grow. Every obstacle is a chance to strengthen your character. Every difficulty is a moment to refine your skills and sharpen your mind. Growth does not happen in ease. It happens in discipline, perseverance, and faithfulness. The greatest investment you can make is in yourself. Your skills, your mindset, your character, your knowledge, your spiritual depth, these are the things that cannot be taken away. Material wealth can come and go. Approval can fade. Circumstances can change. But who you are becoming through focused growth is eternal. Every moment you spend improving yourself compounds over time. Every effort you make to grow creates a ripple effect that will impact your life, your family, your community, and your desk. Focus on the process, not the recognition. Focus on the work, not the applause. Focus on improvement, not comparison. When you do this, the results will follow naturally. Growth is like planting seeds in fertile soil. You do not need to explain it to anyone. You do not need anyone's approval. You water the seeds, you nurture them, you protect them, and in time they will blossom. That is the power of focused energy. Many people live with unfulfilled potential because they scatter their energy. They spend time arguing with naysayers, justifying their choices, or chasing fleeting distractions. But you are called to something higher. You are called to invest your energy in growth, because growth leads to influence. Growth leads to opportunities, and growth leads to destiny. If you focus on becoming better, everything else will fall into place. Spiritual growth is just as important as personal or professional growth. Focus your energy on deepening your faith, strengthening your character, cultivating wisdom. Read books that elevate your mind. Spend time in prayer and meditation. Surround yourself with people who challenge you to grow. Distance yourself from those who keep you stagnant. Remember, your growth is your responsibility. No one can grow for you. No one can live your purpose for you. Take a look at your life. Examine where your energy goes. What are you focusing on? What is consuming your time, attention, and power? Are these things helping you grow or holding you back? Make the decision to redirect your energy toward growth. Make the choice to prioritize learning, discipline, and improvement over distraction, negativity, and drama. Protect your focus like your life depends on it, because it does. When you focus your energy on growth, you will become unstoppable. Doors will open that you never imagined. Opportunities will appear that others cannot even see. Your mind, your spirit, and your abilities will align to create momentum that no obstacle can stop. You will move faster, think sharper, and act wiser. You will attract people, situations, and resources that match the level of growth you have invested in yourself. Growth is self-sustaining. Once you begin to focus your energy on the right things, momentum builds, progress compounds, habits form, discipline becomes easier, confidence increases. Your life begins to reflect the investment you have made in yourself. You become proof that focused energy on growth always produces results. So stop wasting your energy on distractions. Stop giving power to people, situations, or opinions that do not build you up. Stop scattering your focus in 100 directions and getting nowhere. Decide today to focus your energy on growth. Prioritize what matters. Invest in your skills, your mind, your faith, your character. Stay consistent, be patient. Work diligently and watch as your life transforms. Because when you focus your energy on growth, your destiny cannot be stopped. Many of us spend far too much of our lives in defense mode. We wake up every day ready to justify our choices, defend our actions, explain our intentions, and convince others that we are doing the right thing. We are constantly reacting to criticism, protecting ourselves from judgment, and worrying about what people might say. While it is natural to want to be understood, living in defense mode comes at a great cost. It drains our energy, clouds our focus, keeps us from the very things God has called us to do. The path to true success, fulfillment, purpose is not in defending yourself, it is in discipline. Discipline over defense. The moment you stop justifying yourself to everyone else and start holding yourself accountable to your purpose, that is when your life begins to shift. Discipline is the quiet power that builds character, strengthens resolve, and positions you for victory. Defense is reactive, discipline is proactive. Defense reacts to the world around you, discipline directs the world through the power within you. Defense keeps you stuck. It keeps you looking backward at what has already been said, what has already been done, or what others think about you. You spend so much energy trying to manage perception, you forget to manage your potential. You forget to grow, to develop, to focus, to act. Defense creates distraction, discipline creates momentum. And momentum is what moves you from where you are to where God has called you to be. Discipline is not just about self-control. Discipline is about commitment to your vision, commitment to your purpose, commitment to your growth. It is about doing what needs to be done even when no one is watching. It is about saying no to the things that steal your focus and yes to the things that build your future. Discipline means you are willing to invest in yourself consistently, even when the world questions your methods, mocks your process, or doubts your potential. Defense is exhausting. When you live your life in defense mode, you are constantly looking over your shoulder, bracing for criticism, preparing for confrontation, justifying every decision. You are trapped in a cycle of reaction instead of creation. But discipline liberates you. Discipline allows you to rise above the noise, ignore the opinions of naysayers, and focus on the work that truly matters. Discipline frees you from the tyranny of judgment and positions you to become unstoppable. The truth is, the world will always have something to say. There will always be critics, doubters, and skeptics. There will always be people who question your ability, your choices, and your vision. Your destiny is not determined by their opinions. It is determined by your discipline. The people who achieve greatness are not the ones who spend their lives defending themselves. They are the ones who spend their lives refining their craft, building their skills, and staying faithful to their calling. Discipline over defense means choosing to work on yourself rather than work on convincing others. It means investing in your future instead of defending your past. It means focusing on solutions instead of complaints. It means choosing action over argument. When you make this choice consistently, the world begins to respect your results rather than your explanations. People are drawn to those who produce, not to those who react. People follow those who are consistent, not those who are defensive. Every great person in history understood this principle. They were not defined by the criticisms they faced or the judgments of the crowd. They were defined by their discipline. The athlete who wakes up before dawn to train, the artist who paints long into the night, the entrepreneur who works while others sleep, the leader who studies while others rest. They do not waste time defending themselves. They invest their energy in the work that builds their legacy. Defense is temporary. Discipline is permanent. Defense may protect you in the short term, but it does not create growth, opportunity, or destiny. Discipline shapes your character, strengthens your resolve, and produces results that last. Defense asks, what will people think? Discipline asks, what will God think? Defense asks, how do I justify this? Discipline asks, how do I grow? And let me tell you, the answers you receive from discipline are far more powerful than any justification you can offer. Discipline over defense also requires self-awareness. It requires you to know your purpose, understand your calling, and be committed to your vision. When you are clear about who you are and why you are here, you no longer feel the need to defend yourself to the world. You no longer expend your energy trying to convince people of your worth. You act with confidence because you know that discipline, not defense, is the foundation of your success. Living with discipline over defense does not mean you ignore criticism or refuse to learn. It means you prioritize the right criticism, the constructive feedback, and the guidance that moves you forward, while ignoring the noise that seeks to derail you. Discipline allows you to separate the opinions that matter from the ones that do not. It allows you to grow without being hindered by doubt or fear. Discipline over defense is also about consistency. It is about doing the right things every day, even when it is hard, even when you are tired, even when no one notices. It is about forming habits that produce results. It is about showing up for yourself and your purpose regardless of the circumstances. Because the world may not acknowledge your efforts today, discipline ensures that tomorrow the results will speak for themselves. Defense seeks external validation. Discipline seeks internal mastery. Defense looks backward. What has been said, discipline looks forward to what can be achieved. Defense is reactive and often filled with frustration. Discipline is proactive and filled with peace. When you choose discipline over defense, you take control of your life. You stop reacting to the opinions of others and start creating the life you were called to live. Will you continue to live in defense, reacting to every comment, criticism, and challenge, or will you step into discipline, committing to your growth, your purpose, and your calling? Will you spend your energy explaining yourself, or will you spend it building yourself? Will you chase approval, or will you chase excellence? The decision is yours, but the truth is clear. Defense will never make you great, but discipline will. Defense will never move you forward, but discipline will. Defense may temporarily protect your ego, but discipline will strengthen your character, sharpen your focus, and position you for destiny. Choose discipline over defense. Commit to your work, your growth, and your vision. Invest in your skills, your mind, and your spirit. Show up consistently, work diligently, and focus relentlessly. Ignore the critics, ignore the doubters, ignore the noise, because when you live with discipline, the results will speak louder than any explanation ever could. Your life, your legacy, and your destiny are waiting. Stop defending. Start disciplining. Focus on what matters. Work on yourself. Strengthen your character. Refine your skills. And watch as your life transforms, your purpose unfolds, your destiny becomes undeniable. Every great accomplishment in history began with a vision. Every innovation, every breakthrough, every triumph started with someone seeing what others could not. Vision is the seed of destiny, the blueprint of purpose, the divine whisper that calls you to something greater than yourself. But a vision without commitment is nothing more than a dream. It is an idea floating in your mind, but without action, without consistency, without focus, it will never materialize. Today, I want to challenge you. Commit to your vision. Commit fully, unapologetically, and relentlessly. Committing to your vision requires courage. It requires a willingness to step into the unknown, to stand for something even when no one else believes in it, and to move forward when the path is unclear. Many people give up on their visions too soon because they are afraid of failure, afraid of criticism, or afraid of what others might think. But I am here to tell you, the moment you embrace your vision with full commitment, fear loses its power, doubt becomes irrelevant, obstacles become stepping stones. Your vision is sacred, it is unique, it is personal, it cannot be fully understood by everyone around you. It does not need to be. Some people will doubt you. Some people will discourage you. Some people may even laugh at you. The world's understanding is not a requirement for your success. The only thing required is your commitment. You must be willing to say, this is my path, this is my calling. I will pursue it no matter what. Committing to your vision is not a one-time decision. It is a daily choice. Every morning when you wake up, you must choose to move toward your goals, even when the road is rough, even when the progress is slow, even when it feels like no one is watching. Small, consistent actions taken daily with faith and purpose compound over time to produce results that are undeniable. Discipline fuels commitment, and commitment fuels the manifestation of vision. There will be times when your vision seems impossible. There will be moments when you feel like giving up. There will be days when it seems easier to follow the crowd, to settle, to compromise. But let me tell you something, vision is never easy. Anything worth achieving requires persistence, resilience, and an unwavering commitment. The path to your vision will test you, stretch you, and challenge you. It is through those trials that your vision gains strength, clarity, and value. Committing to your vision also means protecting it. It means setting boundaries and saying no to distractions, toxic influences, and anything that pulls you away from your purpose. Some people will try to steer you off course, intentionally or unintentionally, because your vision may challenge their comfort or beliefs. Others may not see your potential and will attempt to convince you that your dream is impossible. But your vision is yours. Guard it, nourish it, protect it. Nothing diminish your focus or your faith in what God has placed inside of you. Faith is the foundation of commitment. Belief in your vision, even when no one else believes, is what moves you forward. Faith allows you to see beyond current circumstances, beyond setbacks, beyond limitations. Faith turns obstacles into opportunities, challenges into lessons, and delays into preparation. When you commit to your vision with faith, you align yourself with the divine timing and divine resources necessary to see it fulfilled. Your vision will demand sacrifice. You will have to give up comfort, convenience, and perhaps even relationships that no longer serve your purpose. You may have to work when others rest, learn when others play, and stay focused when the world is distracted. But every sacrifice you make in the pursuit of your vision is an investment in your future. Every choice to prioritize your calling over temporary pleasure strengthens your character and prepares you for the life you were meant to live. Committing to your vision also means surrounding yourself with people who support it. Seek mentors, allies, and companions who believe in your dreams and will encourage you to keep going. Avoid those who try to convince you to settle, those who project their limitations onto you, and those who drain your energy. Your circle plays a crucial role in the manifestation of your vision. Let your community reflect your commitment, inspire your growth. Vision requires persistence. It requires unwavering determination, requires a refusal to quit. Many people give up just before their breakthrough. Tragedy is that the next step they take could have been the one that changed everything. Stay committed, stay disciplined, stay focused. Remember that progress is often invisible in the beginning. The work you do today may not yield immediate results. Every step taken with purpose is moving you closer to your destiny. Committing to your vision is also about clarity. You must know exactly what you are pursuing and why. Vague dreams produce vague results. A clear, compelling vision inspires action, fuels resilience, and guides your decisions. Write it down, speak it aloud, visualize it daily, make it so clear in your mind and in your heart that no obstacle can blur it. No criticism can shake it, and no distraction can derail it. When you fully commit to your vision, everything else begins to align. Opportunities present themselves, doors open, resources flow, and even challenges begin to work in your favor. The universe, God, circumstances conspire to bring you closer to your purpose when you refuse to waver, refuse to compromise, and refuse to quit. Commitment is the magnet that attracts everything needed to fulfill your destiny. Stop doubting your vision. Stop waiting for others to understand. Stop seeking approval or reassurance. Stop compromising out of fear or convenience. Make a decision right now to commit fully to what God has placed in your heart. Dedicate your energy, your time, your focus, and your spirit to pursuing your vision with relentless determination. Vision without commitment is a dream that fades. Commitment without action is faith without results. But when you commit to your vision, align your actions with purpose and persevere through every trial, your dream becomes inevitable, your calling unstoppable, and your destiny unavoidable. You were not created to live someone else's life. You were not made to follow someone else's plan. You were made for something unique, something powerful, something transformative. Your vision is your assignment, your divine purpose, and your opportunity to leave a mark on the world. Commit to it fully, pursue it relentlessly, protect it fiercely, and watch as your life unfolds in a way that is bigger, bolder, and more beautiful than you ever imagined. Too many of us have been conditioned to believe that we must constantly announce our plans, explain our actions, or showcase every step of our journey. Social media tells us to share your every move. Culture encourages us to seek recognition, and often we feel the pressure to justify ourselves to others. I am here to tell you today, there is power in silence. There is strength in restraint. There is authority in working quietly while the world watches unaware. Working in silence is not about hiding. It is about focusing, preparing, and building without distraction. When you work in silence, you preserve your energy. Think about it. Every time you explain yourself, defend your choices, or seek validation, you give away power that could be used to advance your vision. Your energy is finite. Your focus is precious. And if you constantly spread yourself thin by reacting to others, defending your path, announcing every minor step, you delay your progress. Silence allows you to concentrate on what truly matters: growth, discipline, and execution. Some of you are waiting for someone to notice your efforts before you feel your work has value. But let me tell you, something does not determine your worth. Your results do. Your vision does. Your effort does. When you work in silence, you remove the need for approval. You remove the distraction of praise or criticism. You remove the noise that slows down your progress. Working quietly is about keeping your eyes on your goals and letting your results do the talking. Silence builds character. It cultivates patience, humility, and resilience. When no one is watching, when no one is applauding, you are forced to develop a deeper sense of discipline. You learn to persevere because your vision matters more than recognition. You learn to trust the process even when the progress is invisible. You develop a quiet confidence that does not depend on the opinions of others. And when the breakthrough comes, it is powerful, undeniable, unstoppable because it was built on a foundation of hard work done without distraction. Working in silence also protects your ideas. Ideas are fragile when exposed too early. The more you share before you are ready, the more susceptible your vision becomes to doubt, interference, or theft. Many people have seen their dreams diminish because they announced them before they were prepared. But when you nurture your ideas privately, you refine your craft quietly, when you execute with focus and precision, your vision emerges fully formed and unshakable. Your results will speak for themselves and no explanation will ever be needed. There is spiritual wisdom in silence. In the quiet, you hear the guidance of God, whispers of intuition, and the clarity of purpose. Noise, opinions, and external validation cloud your judgment. But silence brings clarity. It allows you to align your actions with your calling, to make decisions based on truth rather than reaction, to prepare for the moment when your efforts will bear fruit. In the silence, your mind sharpens, your spirit strengthens, and your vision takes root in a way that is deep, enduring, and transformative. Working in silence also creates anticipation. When you do not constantly announce your achievements or progress, people begin to notice results more than words. There is a natural respect that grows when others see outcomes rather than explanations. Results inspire awe, demand attention, and establish authority. In silence, you move from being someone who talks about possibilities to someone who embodies success. Your life becomes a testimony of focus, commitment, excellence. Discipline is at the heart of working in silence. It takes discipline to avoid the temptation to boast, to seek approval, justify your actions. It takes discipline to show up every day and do the work when no one is watching. It takes discipline to trust the process, to remain patient, and to stay consistent even when progress seems slow. Discipline in silence is the secret that separates those who achieve lasting success from those who merely chase attention. Many of you are caught up in the need to be seen. You want recognition before results. You crave validation before growth. But true achievement is rarely loud. It is rarely instantaneous. It is forged in quiet moments of dedication, persistence, and preparation. When you work in silence, you honor the process. You respect the journey. You understand that greatness is built incrementally, step by step, without needing to announce it to the world. Working in silence also strengthens your resilience against criticism. When your work is loud, so are the critics. When your progress is public before it is complete, doubt and judgment have power over your confidence. But when you focus quietly, you become immune to the distractions of disapproval. You develop an inner strength, a self-assurance, clarity of purpose that cannot be shaken by naysayers. You are guided not by the noise outside, but by the vision inside. Silence allows for deep focus, removes distractions, it fosters creativity, it cultivates insight. Some of the greatest minds, innovators, leaders in history achieved breakthroughs because they understood the power of quiet focus. When your mind is undisturbed, when your energy is concentrated, when your heart is aligned with purpose, extraordinary things happen. Work in silence is the soil in which genius grows, dreams flourish, and destiny unfolds. Remember, the work you do in silence is never wasted. Every effort you put in privately compounds. Every step forward, no matter how small, brings you closer to your purpose. The discipline, patience, focus you cultivate while no one is watching will position you for breakthroughs that cannot be hurried, copied, or diminished. When the time is right, your results will emerge with power, and everyone will see what has been quietly building behind the scenes. Stop seeking attention for your efforts. Stop announcing every step. Stop explaining your progress. Focus on your craft. Focus on your growth. Focus on your vision. Show up each day, do the work, and trust the process. Invest in yourself, refine your skills, and strengthen your character. Work in silence and let the results make the noise. Silence is not weakness. Silence is strength. Silence is preparation. Silence is power. Those who learn to work in silence understand that the greatest victories are won quietly, patiently, and with unwavering focus. The breakthrough, the promotion, the achievement, the fulfillment of your dreams, all of it will come. And when it does, it will be undeniable because it is the result of dedicated effort, disciplined focus, and unwavering commitment. Many of us live our lives tethered to the opinions of others. We constantly seek validation from friends, family, colleagues, and even strangers. We measure our worth by the nods of approval we receive, the likes we accumulate, the applause that comes when we think we are doing well. And while it is natural to want affirmation, living for approval is a dangerous trap. It keeps us small. It slows our progress, and it distracts us from our true calling. Today, I want to declare to you, faith trumps approval. Faith will always outweigh the need for validation from the world. Faith is your anchor, your guide, and your power, and it is far more reliable than the fleeting opinions of people. Faith trumps approval because faith is internal and approval is external. Approval comes from outside sources. It is dependent on perception, timing, and circumstance. Faith comes from within. Faith is a deep conviction, belief in what cannot yet be seen, a trust in the unseen hand of God guiding your steps. When you rely on approval, your actions are dictated by the fluctuating opinions of others. When you rely on faith, your actions are guided by purpose, vision, and destiny. Approval is temporary. Faith is eternal. The world will never fully understand your journey. People will doubt, question, or even criticize you. They may try to convince you that your dreams are impossible, that your goals are unrealistic, or that your purpose is too ambitious. Faith does not require understanding. Faith does not depend on validation. Faith is confident in the promises, the callings, the direction that God has placed in your heart. Faith allows you to move forward even when the world disagrees, misunderstands, or disapproves. Living for approval is exhausting. It keeps you constantly looking over your shoulder, wondering if you are doing enough, saying enough, or being enough. You compromise your values to please others. You dilute your vision to make it palatable. You stop taking risks because fear of judgment outweighs belief in yourself. But faith liberates you from this cycle. Faith says, I am called. I am capable. I am equipped. And the opinions of others cannot change the destiny God has set before me. Faith trumps approval because it is rooted in something higher than human recognition. It is anchored in divine truth, spiritual understanding, and eternal perspective. While people may misjudge, misunderstand, or even oppose you, faith allows you to remain steadfast. Faith empowers you to pursue your purpose with confidence, to take risks with courage, to persevere when circumstances seem impossible. Faith does not need a crowd to cheer you on. It thrives in solitude, determination, and obedience. Approval is fleeting. Praise today may turn to criticism tomorrow. Support now may vanish in the face of adversity, but faith is unshakable. Holds firm when everything else is uncertain. It provides clarity when confusion surrounds you. It gives strength when weakness tries to overtake you. And it ensures that no matter how misunderstood or unappreciated you are by the world, your destiny remains intact. Faith also trumps approval because it inspires action, not just admiration. Seeking approval can lead to inaction. We hesitate because we are afraid of judgment. Postpone decisions because we want consensus. We stay in comfort zones because we crave acceptance. But faith compels action. Faith motivates progress. Faith drives risk-taking innovation and perseverance. When you have faith, you move even when no one is cheering, even when no one sees, even when the outcome is uncertain. Look at the lives of those who achieved greatness. The ones whose names we remember did not live for approval. They acted in faith. Abraham moved to a land he had never seen. Moses confronted Pharaoh despite doubt from his own people. David trusted God when Saul pursued him. Esther risked her life for her calling. None of them had universal approval. They all faced criticism, disbelief, opposition. But their faith propelled them past fear, doubt, and rejection into their God-given destinies. Faith trumps approval because it empowers you to prioritize your destiny over public opinion. Approval seeks comfort and safety. Faith seeks purpose and fulfillment. Approval is reactive, driven by the environment. Faith is proactive, driven by conviction. Approval looks for acceptance. Faith looks for alignment with what is true, right, and eternal. When you prioritize faith over approval, you align your life with God's plan rather than with the temporary and often flawed perspectives of others. Faith trumps approval because it builds resilience. When you operate by faith, you learn to rise above criticism, rejection, and disappointment. You develop a mindset that is immune to negativity, a spirit that cannot be broken by opinion, a heart that remains steadfast in the face of adversity. The challenges that would shake someone dependent on approval become opportunities for growth, refinement, and preparation when your foundation is faith. Faith trumps approval because it is your compass in uncertainty. Life is filled with crossroads, difficult decisions, and moments of ambiguity. People may tell you to take a safer route, a more acceptable path, or a more popular choice. Faith guides you to the path that aligns with your vision, purpose, and calling. Approval may encourage compromise. Faith encourages courage. Approval may delay your destiny. Faith accelerates it. Faith trumps approval because it brings peace. When you no longer live for validation, you are free. You no longer worry about criticism or misunderstanding. You no longer expend energy trying to explain or justify yourself. Instead, you focus on growth, discipline, and obedience. Peace comes when you trust that God is orchestrating your steps and that no human opinion can alter the plan. Stop living for the approval of others. Stop measuring your worth by who likes you, who supports you, or who understands your journey. Stop trying to explain your dreams to those who cannot see them. Instead, live by faith. Trust the process. Trust God's guidance. Trust your calling. Commit to what you know is right, even if the world disagrees. Believe in what is unseen, even when others doubt. Move forward with conviction, knowing that faith is greater than approval. Faith trumps approval because your life is bigger than anyone's opinion. Your destiny is stronger than any doubt. Calling is greater than any criticism. When you live in faith, you operate from a place of power, clarity, and purpose. And in the end, the results of your faith will speak louder than any validation you could ever seek. So stop seeking approval. Stop chasing recognition. Stop justifying your journey. Stand firm in faith. Act boldly. Persevere relentlessly. Commit wholly. Watch as faith transforms your life in ways that approval never could. Many people desire success, breakthrough, and fulfillment. Too few understand the principle that makes dreams a reality. Talent, ideas, vision, and even faith are essential, but without consistency, they remain dormant, invisible, untested, and unrealized. Today, I want to speak to you about a truth that can change everything. Consistency leads to manifestation. If you will show up daily, work diligently, and remain faithful to your process, the things you have been praying for, envisioning, and working toward will eventually materialize. Consistency is the bridge between vision and reality. A dream without daily effort is just a wish. Goal without repetitive action is just an idea. Consistency turns the invisible into the visible, the intangible into tangible, and the possible into reality. Every step you take, every disciplined action you perform, every choice you make to keep going, even when it is hard, compounds over time. These small, faithful actions are what bring manifestation. The world glorifies quick results, overnight success, and instant gratification. Real success rarely comes all at once. It is forged in quiet daily effort. It is built in moments when no one is watching. It is developed in the repetition, the discipline, and the commitment that others often overlook. The manifestation of your dreams is rarely immediate. It is gradual, cumulative, inevitable for those who refuse to quit. Consistency is rooted in faithfulness. It requires belief in the process even when the results are invisible. Many people give up because they cannot see the fruit of their labor immediately. They lose heart because they do not receive validation from others. Manifestation is not dependent on applause or approval. It is dependent on persistence, on steady effort, and on trust that every small step matters. Faithful consistency guarantees results over time. Consistency builds mastery. Every time you practice, repeat, and refine your skills, you grow stronger, wiser, capable. Success is rarely a matter of genius or luck. It is a matter of discipline and repetitive action. Every athlete, artist, entrepreneur, leader who achieves greatness has shown up consistently long before the world noticed. They did not rely on talent alone. They relied on repetition, on dedication, and on the belief that small, consistent actions add up to extraordinary results. Consistency also strengthens character. It teaches patience, perseverance, and resilience. When you commit to showing up daily, even in difficulty, you develop a mindset that refuses to quit. Challenges no longer discourage you, setbacks no longer derail you. Instead, every obstacle becomes an opportunity to grow. Every delay becomes a lesson in endurance, and every difficulty becomes a stepping stone toward your manifestation. Character is forged through consistent effort. Character sustains long-term success. The law of consistency is simple. What you do repeatedly becomes what you manifest. If you consistently invest in your mind, your body, your skills, your relationships, and your spirit, the results will appear. If you consistently practice your craft, refine your talents, and execute your plans, your breakthrough will emerge. If you consistently live with faith, discipline, and integrity, your destiny will be fulfilled. Small, steady actions create unstoppable momentum that eventually brings the vision into reality. Consistency also develops trust in the process. Life will challenge you. People will doubt you. Circumstances may seem impossible. When you have shown up consistently, you understand that the process is working even if it is invisible. You begin to see patterns, opportunities, progress that others miss because they are too impatient, too distracted, or too inconsistent. Trust grows with consistency. Trust allows you to persevere through delays, setbacks, and challenges. Manifestation requires focus. Consistency is only effective when applied to the right actions. It is not enough to be busy. You must be intentional. Every step you take must align with your vision, purpose, and calling. Consistent misalignment will not lead to manifestation, it will lead to frustration. But when your efforts are consistent and intentional, momentum builds doors open and your vision begins to materialize. Consistency also silences doubt. Doubt thrives on irregularity, on uncertainty, and on inconsistency. When you show up faithfully every day, you prove to yourself that you are capable, committed, and reliable. Every consistent action reinforces belief, strengthens confidence, and eliminates the power of fear. The more disciplined and steady you are, the less influence doubt and distraction have over your life. Consistency turns faith into reality and transforms belief into manifestation. Consistency produces results that cannot be ignored. It may take time for others to recognize your effort, but eventually the evidence becomes undeniable. Your hard work, your discipline, your perseverance, they leave tangible marks. Opportunities align, resources flow, doors open. Your vision, once invisible, begins to take shape before your eyes. Manifestation is the natural outcome of faithful, consistent action. Consistency is also contagious. When others see your unwavering commitment, they are inspired, influenced, and motivated. You set a standard, create accountability, and model excellence. Your life becomes a testimony of what steady, faithful effort can accomplish. People may doubt, question, or even criticize at first, but when the results arrive, your consistency becomes undeniable proof of your faith, discipline, and purpose. One of the greatest mistakes people make is abandoning their efforts too soon. The breakthrough is often just beyond the point where most quit. The manifestation you have been praying for, working for, and believing in is often closer than you think. But it requires consistency. It requires the willingness to show up, do the work. Trust the process every day, no matter how small or invisible the results may seem at first. Commit to consistency. Decide that no matter the difficulty, no matter the delay, no matter the doubt or criticism, you will continue to show up. Focus your energy daily on actions that matter. Work with discipline, perseverance, and faith. Trust that every effort, no matter how small, is building toward your manifestation. Consistency is not flashy. It is not glamorous. It is not always celebrated, but it is powerful. It is transformative. It is the key that unlocks dreams, visions, and divine assignments. Your daily habits, your repeated actions, your disciplined focus, these are what bring manifestation. Your destiny is waiting for your consistency. Every day you commit, every day you persevere, every day you act with purpose, you are moving closer to the fulfillment of your dreams. Talent can open doors, vision can inspire action, and faith can sustain hope, but it is consistency that brings manifestation. Show up, work diligently, stay faithful, and never give up. The things you have been seeking will appear. The results you have been longing for will materialize, and your life will reflect the persistent, steady, and disciplined effort you have invested. Consistency always pays. Consistency always produces. Consistency always manifests. Too often, people wait for life to hand them their destiny. They sit back, hoping for opportunities, approval, the right circumstances to arrive before they take action. They pray, they hope, they wish, but they do not move. Let me tell you today, destiny is not given, destiny is fulfilled. Destiny is self-fulfilled. It is realized through intentional action, discipline, faith, and the relentless pursuit of purpose. You are the architect of your life, the captain of your soul, and the creator of your own destiny. Destiny is not a passive concept. It does not come to those who simply wait. It comes to those who prepare, who work, who endure, who persevere, who take responsibility for their future. You cannot sit idle and expect the universe to deliver your purpose to your doorstep. The world may not notice, timing may seem delayed, and the path may be unclear, but your destiny will not arrive by chance. It requires your active participation. It demands your commitment, your energy, and your intentionality. The first step in self-fulfilling destiny is ownership. You must take full responsibility for your life. Stop blaming circumstances, past mistakes, or other people for your current situation. Stop waiting for external forces to create the life you desire. Ownership means recognizing that your thoughts, choices, actions determine the trajectory of your life. Your destiny begins when you accept that you are responsible for fulfilling it. Destiny is fulfilled through vision. You must see it clearly before you can achieve it. A vague dream produces vague results. A clear vision provides a roadmap, target, and a purpose that guides your daily actions. Write it down, speak it aloud, meditate on it constantly, visualize it in every detail. The more vivid your vision, the more effectively you can align your actions with it, and the more inevitable its fulfillment becomes. Destiny responds to clarity and purpose. Action is the heartbeat of destiny. Dreams alone are not enough. Planning alone is not enough. You must act. Consistent, deliberate, and focused action transforms potential into reality. Every step you take toward your goals, no matter how small, compounds over time. Destiny is not realized in a single leap. It is achieved through the accumulation of countless intentional choices, disciplined efforts, relentless pursuit of purpose. Patience and perseverance are essential in fulfilling destiny. The journey will not always be easy. You will face obstacles, setbacks, and opposition. You will encounter moments of doubt, fatigue, and frustration. But destiny favors those who refuse to quit. It rewards those who continue to take action despite adversity. Patience allows you to trust the timing of your life. Perseverance allows you to keep moving when others give up. Together, they ensure that your destiny is self-fulfilled through steady, faithful effort. Self-fulfillment of destiny requires discipline. Discipline means showing up every day, doing the work, and resisting the distractions that steal your energy and focus. Discipline is the engine that converts dreams into achievements. It is the bridge between potential and reality. When you maintain discipline in your actions, your thoughts, and your habits, you create the conditions necessary for your destiny to unfold. Without discipline, even the most promising vision remains dormant. Faith is the compass that guides your journey toward destiny. Belief in yourself, in your purpose, and in the divine plan for your life sustains you when the road is rough and the results are delayed. Faith turns obstacles into opportunities, setbacks into lessons, and challenges into stepping stones. When your faith is strong, your resolve is unshakable, and your commitment is unwavering. Destiny is realized by those who trust in the process, even when it seems invisible. Destiny is also fulfilled through growth. You cannot reach your purpose by remaining stagnant. You must continuously develop your mind, your skills, your character, and your spirit. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to grow stronger, wiser, and more capable. Every lesson learned equips you with the tools to navigate the next phase of your journey. Personal growth is the fuel that propels your destiny forward. The more you invest in becoming the best version of yourself, the more powerfully your destiny manifests. Your environment matters as well. Surround yourself with people, resources, and influences that align with your vision. Protect yourself from negativity, distractions, and toxic influences that try to pull you away from your path. Destiny is self-fulfilled when you are intentional about the spaces you occupy, the voices you listen to, and the energy you allow into your life. Guard your focus fiercely, because it is your focus that turns dreams into reality. Consistency is another crucial ingredient in self-fulfilling destiny. You cannot achieve your purpose through sporadic effort. You must show up daily, regardless of circumstances, mood, or external validation. Consistency compounds results. It builds momentum. It strengthens character. It ensures that every small action contributes to the larger goal. Destiny is realized by those who remain steadfast, patient, faithful in their daily pursuit. Your destiny is self-fulfilled when you embrace responsibility, take action, stay disciplined, grow relentlessly, trust the process. You cannot outsource your purpose. You cannot delegate your calling. You cannot wait for someone else to make it happen for you. Destiny is yours to claim, yours to pursue, and yours to bring into reality. The world may not understand. The path may be difficult. Timeline may be uncertain. But if you commit, persist, and act with purpose, your destiny becomes inevitable. Stop waiting for permission, approval, or ideal circumstances. Stop blaming, hesitating, or doubting. Take ownership of your life. Define your vision clearly. Act with discipline and persistence. Grow continually. Trust the process. Surround yourself with alignment and protect your focus. Show up consistently and let faith guide you. Your destiny is waiting, but it will not wait forever. It is yours to fulfill, and only you have the power to bring it into existence. Destiny is not a gift. It is a responsibility. It is not handed to you. It is claimed through effort. It is not discovered passively. It is actively created through your choices, your discipline, your faith, and your relentless pursuit of purpose. Destiny is self-fulfilled, and you are the author of your story. Write it well. Live it fully. Pursue it relentlessly. And watch as your life transforms into the fulfillment of the vision, the calling, the purpose that God placed within you.